Hey everyone, in today's video, we're going to be learning from the devastating failure of Chris Brown's latest NFT project, Breezyverse. We're going to be answering the question, why does a celebrity with 100 million followers on Instagram wasn't able to sell out an NFT collection of only 10,000? Sounds really small for the size of his audience. As we can see right here on OpenSea, Breezyverse was a collection size of 10K, and 3 days after the mint started, they were only able to mint 296 NFTs. This is terrible to watch. It's almost painful. So, we're going to be covering what are the three principles that led to the complete failure of this project, and what can we learn from it. Before we get into it, guys, my name is Leon Aboud. I'm the founder of unfungible.xyz, an NFT strategic consulting and marketing agency aimed at helping NFT projects successfully market their collection. So if after watching this video, you ever find yourself in a position where you still need help marketing your collection or have questions, then feel free to get in touch with myself and my team by booking a call by clicking on the link in the description of this video to get your 30 minutes free consultation call. During that call, you'll be able to learn how we can help your project and how you can get involved with us. All right, with that said, let's get into the video. All right, so right here we can see that only 296 pieces have been minted, and the total volume so far has been 5.6 Ethereum. They've practically received around 10 transactions overall. So as we can see right here from their Twitter, they have 30,000 followers. On Discord, they have 7.8 thousand server members. And on Instagram, they have 77,000 followers. By the way, my username is Leon Aboud on Instagram. And on Twitter, it's hey, this is Leon, if you'd like to be part of my journey and read some of the marketing analysis that I often post about it. So after doing a deep dive into this project, there are three fundamental reasons why it was absolutely not able to sell out. So the first one being a very poor Web 3.0 branding. The second of all is a lack of education surrounding Web 3. And the third one is a terrible utility. Before I show you exactly and we break down each of those three, I want to talk a little bit about the two types of buyers we can typically advertise to when launching an NFT collection. The first one is the most common, which is advertising to the already existing NFT buyers. Those are people that are already educated, they know how to set up a metamask, they've bought NFTs before, they know what to look out, they know what is a good project, what is not. And then we have the second type of buyer, which is the new buyer that we aim to onboard that has never bought an NFT. So we aim to educate that buyer, and we aim to train that buyer and show that buyer why buying this NFT is going to be a good investment for whatever reason. And most typically, most projects, especially during a bear market, typically market to the first type of buyer, which is the already NFT buyer. This is where you see all the projects on Twitter kind of run the typical marketing strategies that I cover on my case studies. However, the second type of buyer we've seen come in a lot in December and January during the previous bull run. We saw a big influx of fresh blood coming into the NFT market and add all that new liquidity. And those new buyers typically tend to become NFT buyers later on as they progress during their journey. So Chris Brown could have advertised to those two buyers, and we're going to see how he did, or his team actually did a terrible job at advertising to those two specific buyers. So the first reason their mint flopped was because of terrible Web 3.0 branding. And what do I mean by that is they did a terrible job at advertising to the already existing NFT buyers. So if we scroll through their tweets, so as we scroll down to the very first tweet made by Breezyverse, we can see it was a retweet made by Chris Brown announcing his new NFT project on May the 12th. If we scroll up very quickly, we can see the very first failures that were made on the project's side, which was right here. On the first day of launching the NFT collection, they started raffling out whitelist spots. This is a terrible idea, giving out whitelist spots just like it's candy, because it devalues the perceived value of your project. When you make your whitelist too accessible, it makes the perceived value of your project a lot less interesting. So typically when advertising to existing NFT buyers, what you want to do is you want to put your project in front of them 3-4 times before you can actually invite them to join your Discord. And this is done by having a week of engagement farming. This is what I like to call it. It looks different for every project, but it's basically a week where you're teasing your project. You're creating mystery surrounding your project. You're trying to get as many engagement from NFT specific buyers. But as we can see here, most of the marketing was made by Chris Brown specifically. And they started giving out whitelist raffles incredibly quickly. And one thing that I need to point out is the template that they followed. Whoever was responsible of this, which I figured out and I'm going to be showing you exactly, I believe did a terrible job at branding the project. So why would people want to buy Chris Brown's collection? It's because it gives people a sense of exclusivity. Oh, I own Chris Brown's one out of 10,000 NFT. And Chris Brown has 100 million followers on Instagram. So it has to seem like a luxury buying his NFT. But you can see from the template that was followed here, it looks very cheap. This is a very cheap template that I see right here. Look at all the emojis. Who typed this? What is it? Was it a 16-year-old person that was on an internship typing this? This is typically the template that I see a lot of promotional accounts do. So whoever runs this account probably thinks that the NFT space is filled with teenagers. And I was actually able to quickly identify who was it that was in charge of their Instagram. And it was this lovely man called Dustin Goldstein. So Mr. Goldstein is the COO of Breezyverse. And very quickly scrolling through Mr. Goldstein's, so I went down through Mr. Goldstein's Twitter history to try to understand what type of person can a COO become on Chris Brown's NFT collection. And I was very quickly able to understand that although he was involved and probably minted one or two NFT projects, Mr. Goldstein's background is in the film industry and not in the NFT industry, or necessarily marketing or Web3 or technology industry. So Mr. Goldstein had very little understanding of the culture, the communication that was going on within the NFT space. And that explains the series of terrible tweets right here that did a terrible job at building branding surrounding their project, therefore failing to attract the NFT buyers within the space. One thing this project also failed to do was to show the existing NFT community how is Chris Brown bringing value towards the NFT community. There's a misconception that NFT people There is a misconception that NFT people hate celebrities. That's not true at all. NFT people love celebrities because they bring in new, fresh blood into the ecosystem. However, we hate celebrities that do a terrible job at educating themselves over the culture of the NFT space and are only launching collections for the money grab because they smell the money. Versus, for example, Steve Aoki. Steve Aoki is an incredible example of a celebrity that was mainstream before coming into NFT and then made a very solid brand into the NFT. Steve is incredibly active within the Web3 space. He often goes to conferences like VCon. He's there and people listen to him and people respect him. And this is something Mr. Chris Brown failed to do through his NFT collection early on. He didn't get embedded within the community and instead put his eggs on this gentleman called Dustin Goldstein to do the marketing for him. Now, I do wonder, why is Goldstein retweeting his own tweets on Breezyverse's NFT? This doesn't look professional at all. And right here, why is Mr. Goldstein doing whitelist raffles on his personal page? So he's basically using this platform to fuel and to push his own personal brand in front. There you go. Another terrible example of communication and branding happened on Discord in their announcement section. I always go to the announcement section to see how are the project founders communicating with the community. And as you can see right here, they were not Web3 friendly. They didn't communicate the typical way we see Web3 projects communicate. They didn't use terms within the Web3 ecosystem. Where's the LFG? Where's the WAGMI? So they weren't using familiar vocab. They weren't using familiar inside jokes that are within the NFT community. And this is what happens when you put someone that is not seasoned in the NFT space in charge of your project. There's specifically one announcement I want you to see, and it is by this gentleman called Amsterdam, who is the Discord manager. So let's read this. Hey guys, as an experienced Discord manager, I would like to point out that FUD in the main chat is quite normal. This happens with almost every project that approaches mint. You can think what you want, but please don't talk like this is a rug. You can give your opinion, but please don't spread lies. This project is the official project of Chris Brown. My man, what the hell? Why would you say that? I understand your intentions, but this is not how you do it. The worst way to contain FUD is by announcing publicly and tagging everyone that there is FUD happening on Discord. This is terrible. Another small detail, but pretty massive, is why are the PFPs of the founders not PFPs of the collection? So, of the actual collection. This is not Web3 friendly, guys, not Web3 friendly. Shows the inexperience of the founders. So, all right, this brings us to the second point. So, we lost the NFT buyers. We did a terrible job at marketing to them. Now, what do we do? No problem. We always have the new buyers that typically should have been Chris Brown's strategy. Chris Brown has 100 million on Instagram. I guess it really would not have been that difficult to onboard 0.1% of those to go and buy your NFT collection. 0.1% of those is 100,000. So you had to onboard 0.01% of those people to buy their collection. So this is where they absolutely did a terrible job. Remember, the new buyers could be interested in buying your collection. New buyers are potential buyers. If they love the project and if they love the artist, they will buy. What was lacking in this project was a lack of education. So scrolling through the Instagram of Breezyverse, I could see nowhere where the team was educating people or educating new interested prospects on how to buy an NFT, on what is an NFT. Why didn't Chris Brown make a 15-minute YouTube tutorial on how do you set up a metamask? What do you do with your seed phrase? How do you stay safe in this space? 15 minutes, man. You could have done that and you could have really educated all your audience, your huge, massive audience on how to buy NFTs. So there was this project that I wanted to take as reference that did an impeccable job at converting new buyers into NFT buyers. This project did absolutely zero marketing to the existing NFT buyers, and 100% of their marketing was tailored towards the new buyers. So I want you to see right here, the founding team of My BFF is made up of Mila Kunis, Tyra Banks, Kate Hudson, huge figures, a lot of figures right there. And so is Chris Brown. But one thing My BFF did well is look at this on their website. Most of the website is tailored toward teaching what NFTs are. So right here, there is, if you look at this, there's a 2-hour YouTube video sharing what is an NFT, crypto for a beginner plus big surprises. Right here, we have a reading list, Jessica's Web3 resource guides, Gabby's Web3 reading list. Right here, we have videos, Ellen Harpern teaching what are NFTs, 3 simple steps to crypto beginners. So they did an incredible job at onboarding people. So they did a very good job. So if part of your strategy in the future will be to bring and onboard those new NFT buyers, My BFF is definitely the reference for you. So let's summarize so far. The first reason why they didn't sell out was a terrible Web 3.0 branding. The second reason was because they did a terrible job at educating their existing community on how to buy NFTs. And the third reason, which we're going to be covering now, is terrible utility that didn't convince the buyers to hop on the train. So right here, we can see on the website that the utility to buy one of Chris Brown's NFT is that they will receive free VIP concert tickets, backstage passes, meet and greets, touring wardrobe, music video wardrobe, personal wardrobe. So basically merch, exclusive ability to see and meet Chris Brown. Although this sounds like pretty decent utility, in theory, it's not. Because what this project did wrong, and this is something I see a lot of other people that have a Web 2 background try to come into Web 3, is that they try to implement Web 2 utility into Web 3 business models. How can you convince an NFT buyer or a fan of Chris Brown that is based in Spain or in India? How could you convince those guys to buy an NFT that costs $350 to go to your concerts that are in the US? Most of them that are most happening in the US. And this is a trap I'm seeing a lot of newbies fall into, especially people that want to get into Web3 just for the sake of Web3. Web3 this, NFT this, NFT that. Web3 opens up a very specific use case, and you can't NFT everything. So this is a trap I invite you not to fall into and to keep your eyes out for it. So that's pretty much it, guys. I truly am sorry for Chris Brown that this happened. This definitely does take a hit on his career, especially if he does plan on going in the future into Web3. This is definitely going to be a stain that's going to stick with him. But fortunately for us, Chris Brown was the one to take a bullet for us, and he was able to show us what are some of the red flags that we should stay away from when trying to launch an NFT project. With that said, everyone, I hope you enjoyed this video. If you have any questions related to NFT marketing, you know where to find us. You know where to find us. There's a link to book a call with myself and my team so you can get a free 30-minute consultation call on how we can help you on your project. All right, everyone, I'll be seeing you on the very next video. Take care.